All right. Good afternoon. So we're going to try this again. Hopefully, everyone can hear me. I'm so excited to have this opportunity because I want to talk to you all today about inspiration. And what I mean by inspiration is inspiring yourself to use your gift. So before I move any further, because before I was just having a great time and talking, and I'm hoping that I'm being heard clearly and that this is moving forward because I have so many great golden nuggets to share with you all this afternoon for a few minutes. And inspiration is probably the most motivational thing that I do for myself every day, and I am just excited to talk about what you're gonna need in order to inspire yourself to move forward in accomplishing the things you want to do. But without further ado, I guess I should introduce myself. My name is Kimberly McLemore, and I am the CEO and founder of the Women's Small Business Initiative. I'm also the host of your podcast, Your Resource for Success. I am also an award winning author, and I am a military veteran and a domestic violence survivor. So that's just a little bit about me. I'll dive into a little bit more in a few. My focus today, right now, is just to talk to you about what you're going to need to inspire yourself. And usually, before you can inspire yourself, the biggest thing you have to do is what we call self discovery, aligning and assessing everything that you want to do with your life and how to share your gift, because we all have gifts that we have to share and we all have passions, but sometimes we just don't know what it takes in order to move forward to do that. So I want to give you just some tips so you can feel comfortable and feel like you can breathe without judgment in order to understand what it truly means to believe in who you are, why it's important for you to step forward, and what it's going to take in order for you to make that accomplishment. And after you start doing this thing called self discovery, and I use the term a lot of self assessment and understanding who we are, that's how, we can move forward to help others. Because until we know who we are, we all know the saying is, if you don't know yourself, how can you help somebody else, right? But the things that I have done, and I think they're very important that everyone should do when you're trying to analyze things and you want to move forward and sharing your gift, and it's really just taking this one step of building the journey. And if you understood that, one step at a time, that's what's important. When you take the steps that you take, we all know that when we get excited doing a business or writing a book or starting a show or whatever the case may be that you want to do in your journey, is that we get excited. We jump in with all fours and then we feel like this is what we are meant to do. And you're absolutely right. That is what you are meant to do. But you have to take one step at a time. So, as they say, you may have to crawl a little bit before you can walk, and that's okay. Because if you're not changing through the process of the journey, then guess what? You're not really getting anything out of it. You're doing yourself a disservice as well as the people that you are trying to inspire. And my big job is to inspire you to take the proper steps that you need to have in order to become successful in whatever it is that you want to do. That's what I love to do, and that's what I'm about. And that is truly what this organization does for WSBI. The other thing that I really want to focus on in teaching you all is, you know what? You have to stop making excuses. You have to change your mindset. You have to replace the things that tell you, oh, I can't do this. This isn't for me. Nobody really cares about who I am or what I have to say. Your mindset is everything. That means every day that you wake up, if you are truly thinking about this passionate thing that you want to share with the world or just really want to leave a legacy, it is your responsibility to change your mindset. And if you guys notice that a lot of times when I post in the morning, I'm always trying to post things that are positive, because those positive things not just only help you, they help me, because I'm human. We all go through that process of feeling sorry for ourselves, making excuses about why it is we can't do what we want to do, and people are going to look at me funny and all those other things. It's just a part of the process. It's just understanding this is what life is really about, right? All about self discovery is the key to everything in life, but you got to change your mindset. The other thing that I found that's really important is really truly learning how to forgive yourself. We go through so many things in our personal lives and even in our professional lives that it can be really hard to stop making those excuses, stop, beating ourselves up over the head. And then we realize that, oh my gosh, we've never really truly forgiven something. Guess why you can't move forward. Moving forward is a process. And there's that thing called process of elimination as well. And that process of elimination is truly about catering to your needs and what's most important to what you need. And until you start to forgive the things that you have gone through and realize that what you went through years ago or yesterday or a few hours ago, let it go. Move forward. Understand that being who you are and sharing your passion is important but the one thing I want to kind of step back and say that if you don't believe in yourself or forgive who you are, why should anybody else care? Why will anybody know that what you have is important? They're not going to support you like you want because your mindset hasn't changed. You haven't forgiven yourself and you haven't stopped making excuses. These steps are extremely important to understanding who you are. And all of this, as we continue this conversation, is really just all about self-discovery. And then the other thing that I truly think that's important is focusing on the path. Let your spirit guide you. Understand that everybody has a destination and you have one specific one that was made for you. But it's until you decide to step into that, you're not going to really understand who you are and you won't be able to share that gift. It's funny, the last week I had somebody inspire me in a way that I had not thought of, but I've been doing this for quite some time. I was called the storyteller. And I thought to myself, yeah, I tell stories. Yeah, I'm an author. Obviously, I'm a pretty good one. I've won some awards and I continue to write. But it wasn't even about that. It's about the fact that what I do is I do tell stories, but what I do is I allow other people to share their stories on my platform. On my platform, Your Resource for Success podcast is all about people inspiring others, women entrepreneurs, male entrepreneurs, music artists, authors. People have the opportunity to come onto my platform and they can talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, what it truly means to be in their position. And I always think that is extremely important, that I give that opportunity to those to be heard. So sharing their stories on a platform with almost 6,000 listeners is amazing every Thursday evening at 7 p.m. on iHeartRadio, Spotify, and 12 other media platforms. I think it's a gift that I've been given to allow other people to do that, because being able to hear your story globally is extremely important. And it's not always about just the people who sit in the next room. It is truly about realizing that you do have a gift. And so that is one of the gifts that I share and that I do. The other thing that I find is kind of cool that I get the opportunity to do and that I'm able to share and telling those stories is teaching people how to self-publish their books, teaching them to bring what they have on their heart to fruition. I think is very important. And yeah, it's a step-by-step process. And yes, it can be somewhat cumbersome, but guess what? I'm here to teach that journey. And the funny, cool part about today is that you didn't even know that I've been specifically talking about one of my books this afternoon with you for a few minutes, called Are You Living or Are You Existing? The Pros and Cons of Balancing Life. This is one of the things I just taught you some steps out of my first chapter about understanding self-discovery. Because what we find ourselves doing a lot of times is that we live into the lens and the journeys of others. And you can't be inspired by just living through other people. You have to get up and inspire yourself. Get up off the seat. Quit talking the talk and do the talk, but also walk with it. So that's one of the books. And then, of course, I have a couple other books that I've just been truly excited about. I have one on domestic violence. That was the one that I actually won the award on. And I took the course just like I'm going to be teaching you. If you're interested in learning what it takes to be a self-published author, the process and the steps that it means to get that done, because I'm excited to let you guys know that I will soon have this amazing masterclass available. I'm only going to pick 10 people because I want to be able to really get involved with them, truly understand who they are. I've done a lot of one-on-ones, but having sometimes a small intimate class allows you to feed off of each other, inspire each other through that process. And I'm going to have some amazing, wonderful guests who will also talk about their stories, what they've gone through in the process of doing their book through my course, and as well as just the journey that they've had to go through themselves to keep themselves inspired, because writing a book is definitely something you have to inspire yourself to do. I never thought I would be an author, but what I've learned is that everybody is an expert. If you have a business of your own, if you have a podcast, or if you have decided to write the book, like I said, you're an expert at something, and that's something that needs to be shared. And so, if you want to learn more about these, I'm going to give you some information here shortly about how you can get a hold of me. And then, of course, starting a small business. Yeah, I've been consulting people with small business for many, many years. And the thing that I love about it is being able to see that idea also come to fruition, and knowing that I just had a little bit to do with it in order to make it a success. And that success is really just taking and understanding what that process means too. How do you start that business plan? What is the most important piece about that? It is important. As we can see, nobody ever expected today that we would be living in this pandemic era, and lives have been changed dramatically to the point where we have all been dropped down to our knees at some point, and some have been dropped down much further that they can't exist any further because there is no support system. And sometimes a part of it is because we're not prepared to support ourselves for anything that comes along. And that's just the journey of understanding what it means to run a business. And I want you all to understand that no matter what you do, whether you are an author, whether you start a podcast show, no matter what business, it is a business. And there are specific steps that you need to take in order to keep yourself aligned, and in order to make sure that you do say success and become a successful person, not just overnight, but for longevity. I think that's the most important part in understanding business. But inspiration, I'm going to jump back a little bit more because I want you all to understand it's your passion, it's your belief, it's who you are. And I can't help you change your mindset. You have to be able to do that. And it's funny how I get those questions all the time of, oh, I just don't want to do this. I want you to do it for me. Write the book for me. I don't have time, to do this, but this is what I want to do. Well, can't have it both ways, right? You have to be able to use your own talent. I can't give you my talent because I'm who I am. And my thoughts will be my thoughts on your paperwork or your book or your business idea or even on your podcast show. It is up to you to decide the steps that you want to make. Because see, like I said, my goal here and always has been is to catapult people, to put them in a place to where they want to be, to share their ideas, to give them an understanding of how they can align themselves with more resources, so that they can have something to hold on to, and or either just leave a legacy for their family. But at the end of the day, it is really truly up to you. I can give you all the guidance in the world. I can inspire you every single day, every second of the day, but you have to be the one to make that step. And so I will help you, push you through that. And I'm sure there are many people who will do the same for you and supporting you in the way that you need to be supported. So, I guess because I took so much time up the last time and didn't really get the opportunity, you guys didn't hear anything I said the first time when I was doing this. So we had to do the replay. We had to do another replay and restart, should I say. But, you have one thing to do as a call to action, and that's just to start. There's nothing else I can say to you until you decide that you are ready and prepared to make a difference for you. And then when you are prepared to make that difference, you will absolutely be able to share that beautiful gift that you have to the world, because they deserve to hear what you have to say. They deserve to read what you have to say. And then if you have services, they deserve to be able to purchase and be a part of that. so that you can be a success. So I'm kind of coming down to the end of sharing what I think inspiration is all about. But if you would like to learn more about who I am, and you're interested in taking any of the self-publishing course that I have available, or learning how to start a podcast, or you want to learn how to start a small business, just you can reach out to me anytime. Again, my name is Kimberly McLemore. You can find me at WSBILC on my business page. You can also reach me through email at kimberlywsbillc@gmail.com. I'm on Instagram. I'm on, I already said Facebook. I'm on YouTube. So I'm pretty easy to reach out to. And you can also DM me anytime through this live show. But again, I really do appreciate your time this afternoon. I hope you learned something. And I hope you realize that my heart is here for you and teaching you. And I hope I inspired you to get up, move forward with your journey. If you're already on the journey, keep moving. If you want to start the journey, you know what you have to do. Take those steps. Self-discovery, build that journey one step at a time, replace your mindset, no more excuses, forgive yourself, and whatever it is you've done, it doesn't matter. It's a new day. Let it go and focus on the path and let your spirit guide you. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Thank you.